Shalom. We are continuing our learning of Sefer Yirmiyahu, and we are up to Perek Yud Aleph, which is the beginning of a new Nevuah. And Pasuk Aleph says, Perek Yud Aleph, Hadavor Asher Hayal Yirmiyahu Mi'es Hashem Lemor. The following prophecy came to Yirmiyahu from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, again to tell Bnei Yisrael. And again, these Nevuos were delivered orally. Shimu es divrei abris hazais. Listen to the bris, listen to the covenant that Hashem made with you, going back to Har Sinai. V'dibartem el ish Yehuda Yerushalayim, and speak this message. Now, dibartem, meaning all of the Nevi'im. Yirmiyahu is speaking to the righteous and saying, share this word with others. V'yamarta aleihem. And you, Yirmiyahu, shall say, Kai Amar Hashem Elokei Yisrael, so says Hashem, the God of Israel. Oror ha'ish, asher lo yishbas divrei abris hazais. The person who does not obey the terms of the covenant, the bris of Har Sinai, shall be cursed. Asher tzivisi es aveisechem b'yayim haitzi yisam eretz Mitzrayim mikor habarzal. That I commanded your forefathers the day that I took you out of Mitzrayim from the iron furnace. Mitzrayim in the Torah itself is called Korah Barzel, because just as a furnace takes metal and it burns away the impurities, leaving you with a precious, beautiful metal, gold or silver or copper, so too Mitzrayim was supposed to remove our pagamim, remove our impurities, and make us worthy. And when I took you out of that iron furnace, I said, Shimu b'koli, listen to my voice. V'yasisem osam, and obey my mitzvos, gechol asher atzava eschem, in accordance with all that I command you. V'yisem li liam, and if that's the case, you will be my special nation. Anechi eya lochem leilakim, and I will be your God. And Laman Hakim es Hashvua Shenispati Lavaseichem, and in this way I will fulfill the oath that I made to your forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Vaseis lahem eretz zavas chalav udvash, to give them a land that is flowing with milk and honey. Kayayim hazed, would be as real as this day. If you obey the bris, this is what you get. And Yirmiyahu interposes as he hears Hashem's words. Va'an v'yaymar, Amen, Hashem. May it be true. Yehi ratzain. He's davening for the people in the two-word tefillah, that Klal Yisrael will listen to the divrei hebris. Va'yaymer Hashem elai, and then Hashem said to me, the Navi is writing this later, perhaps even after the Churban. Go and proclaim all of this in the cities of Yehuda, the streets of Yerushalayim, Lemor, Shimu es divrei abris, listen to the bris. I also want to point out that the teichacha itself is described as a bris, so it could very well be that Yirmiyahu is also alluding to the teichacha that talks about the consequences of not keeping the Torah. Vasisa Maisam. Ki, Pasuk Zayin, Ha'ed ha'idaisi bi'aveseichem b'yayim ha'leisi eisam yeretz Mitzrayim ada yom hazeh hashkeim v'ha'ed lemor shimu b'koli. I have warned over and over again your forefathers from the day that I took them out of Mitzrayim until this day. Hashkeim, every day, every morning, shimu b'koli. This is what the Nevi'im say. V'loi shamu, and they didn't listen. V'loi hitu es oznam, they didn't incline their ears. Vayelchu ish b'shrirus libamara, and each person goes in the way that his heart desires. And what's going to happen is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, V'ovi aleim es kol divrei habris hazais asher tzivisi lasais. I will bring all of the punishments. Now this is almost certainly the teichacha in the covenant that I made, because they didn't do their mitzvahs. Yeah, this is the bris. It's in the Torah itself. Listen to this. Remember it. Vayomer Hashem Elai, and then Hashem says to me again, Nimtza Kesher B'ish Yehuda. There is a rebellion among the Anshe Yehuda that are refusing to accept HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shavu al avaynais avaysama rishenim. They are going backwards. They are returning to the sins of the earlier generations, the period of the Shaftim and the period of the 10 tribes. And even in Malchus Yehuda, there were times of Avodah Zarah, like Chizkiyahu's father Achaz. And they are returning. Yoshio was righteous. But after Yoshio's death, they are going backwards to the Avaynais of their forefathers. Asher meyanu lishmayas devara, who have refused to listen to my voice. Vehema hochu acharei Elohim acherim liyavdam, and they go after other gods, small g gods, to worship them. Heiferu Beis Yisrael u Beis Yehuda. There's a Beis Yisrael of the 10 tribes. The 10 tribes and the house of Yehuda, the tribes of Yehuda and Binyamin, were Mayfair. They annulled my covenant. Asher karati esavosam, that I made with their forefathers. Lochein, kai amar Hashem, so says Hashem. Hineni mevi aleim ra asher lo yochlu lotzeis mimena. I will bring upon this nation something evil that they will not be able to escape. There will be no escape through their army, through their political systems, through their alliances, through their wealth, through their bribes. There'll be no escape. There will be a churban and a golus. V'holchu arei Yehuda. I'm sorry. V'zaku elai v'lo eshmar, and they will pray to me then. But that will be a time that I will not listen. Now, eventually Hashem does listen, but at that time there'll be a shas hadin. And then what will they do? They will turn to their other gods that they think will help them, which of course won't happen. They will cry out to the gods that they sacrifice to, and they certainly will not save them. You have as many gods as you have cities. Umispar chutzais Yerushalayim samtem mizbachais, and you have erected as many altars to Avodah Zarah as there are streets in Jerusalem. Lebaishes, for your shame, mizbachais lekater lebal, you have made altars to bring sacrifices to the Canaanite Baal. And now Hashem says, this is the second time we've had this, V'yata, and you, Yirmiyahu the prophet, al tispalel biyad ha'am hazeh, do not daven for this people. V'al tisa bi'adam rina utfila, do not carry for them rina. Again, this is like a song of prayer or tefillah. Don't daven for them. Why? Ki eineni shemeya, because right now I'm not going to listen unless they do tshuva. Be'eis kara'am elai, when they call me bi'adra asam, because of their evil, I will not listen. And in spite of the kayach of tefillah, there are going to be times, at least in the short run, that Hashem says, I will not accept your tefillahs. Now again, we have ideas. Later it'll help us. It'll help future generations. All of that is very beautiful and meaningful. But in terms of getting your tefillah answered, the way that you're asking for it, there are times that Hashem says, no. Then he turns to the Yirmiyahu and says, Ma liyadidi bebeisi. Why should my beloved still be in my house? This is so interesting. The house of Hashem is the Beis HaMikdash. Yedidi, my beloved, is Am Yisrael. They're still called Yedidi. They're called Yedidi. But Hashem says, my Yedid can no longer be in my house. I have to kick them out. They're not worthy of being in my house. So it's a fascinating point that in this pasuk that is essentially declaring that the Jewish people are being kicked out of the house of Hashem because the temple is going to be destroyed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu still calls them Yedidi. Ma li Yedidi bebeisi. How can my beloved one remain in my house? Asaisa hamizimasa harabim. She, again the Jewish people personified as a woman, is engaged in so many conspiracies, ways of rebelling against me. Ubasar kaidesh yavru me'alayich. The holy meat of karbanos has to be taken away from you. Ki ra'sechi az talezi. Because only when you do evil are you happy. You enjoy the riches. Zayas ra'anan yefei pri tayar. Kara Hashem shemech. God called you, speaking to the Jewish people, as a woman, Zayat ra'anan, a fertile, fresh olive, full of good oil, oil of wisdom, oil of Torah. Yefei pri Torah, of beautiful fruit. That is what Hashem called you. This is the idea that we're compared to a zayas. Some Sforim say, because just like a zayas produces the best oil under squeezing and pressure, the Jew under pressure and yisurin exhibits the greatest kedusha. So Hashem declared you were a beautiful olive tree with wonderful fruit. But now, l'kayel hamula gadayla, amidst great tumult of armies, heitzis eishalaha, God has set your beautiful tree on fire. V'ra'u dala Yosef, and its branches have been burnt and decimated. V'Hashem tzivakot hanoteosach, and Hashem that planted you as a beloved tree, diber alayich ra'ah, has now decreed evil tidings upon you. Biglal ra'at Beis Yisrael u'Beis Yehuda, because of the evil deeds of Beis Yisrael, which are the 10 tribes, and Beis Yehuda, the remaining 2 tribes, Yehuda and Binyamin, Asher Rasulem lachiseni lakater lebal, that they sacrificed to the Baal, the Canaanite god Baal, to make me angry. So now Yirmiyahu once again interjects with his personal suffering. Because apparently the people of Anasais, which are Yirmiyahu's own town, they tried to kill him. He's giving them musar every time. He's always pessimistic. He's never giving them hope. Yeah, he's giving them hope if they do. He's giving them hope if they do tshuva, but tshuva is too hard. So Yirmiyahu is kind of amazed, as it were, surprised, that a Navi from HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only is not listened to, but they want to kill him. Yirmiyahu says, again, as I say, there are many personal observations in the book of Yirmiyahu, and there's a bit of a question whether we consider that nevuah. V'ani kakeves aluf. I am like a lamb, a vulnerable lamb, yuval litpawach, that is being brought to slaughter. V'lo yadati ki alai chashvu machshavos. I did not realize that people were thinking of killing me. Nashchisa eitz balachmai. Let's grind up wood and put it in his bread. That would choke him. V'nichrasenu me'eretz chayim. We will cut him off from the land of the living. Ushmo lo yizacharod, and no one will even remember his name. And Yirmiyahu says, V'Hashem tzivakos shofei tzedek. You, Hashem, are a righteous judge. Bochein koloyas v'lev. You examine my kidneys and my heart. Again, the kloyos, although it means kidneys, refers to you know my innards, you know my feelings, you know my emotion, you know my thoughts. You know that my motivation is only to serve you and to help Klal Yisrael. Era nikmascha mehem, let me see your vengeance against them. Ki eilecha gilisi esrivi, to you, Hashem, have I revealed my quarrel. Again, the truth is, I don't have a great explanation here. Essentially, Yirmiyahu is calling on Hashem, punish the bad guys because of what they're doing to me. On a superficial level, it's a little difficult that a tzaddik and a navi who is being pursued would simply ask God for vengeance. It rubs us the wrong way a little bit, but I guess we have to understand it, that Yirmiyahu has a mission, and he is the only chance that might prevent a Chorban Beis HaMikdash. And if they take him out of commission, that's it. So he's not stamazai saying, punish them because of what they did to me, but take them out of commission so they will not be able to harm me. And Lachain, and therefore, Kai Amar Hashem Alanshe Hanasais Mavakshim Nafshecha Lemor. So says Hashem about the people of Anasos that are trying to kill you. Lo tinavei b'shem Hashem lo b'tamas b'yadenu. And those that are telling you, don't give prophecies anymore, and then you won't die, meaning they say to Yirmiyahu, if you shut up, we're not going to hurt you. So what is Hashem's answer? L'chein kai amar Hashem tzavakos hineni poked aleim. I will visit punishment upon them. Habachurim yamusu b'charev. Their young men in those families of your opponents will die with the sword of the Babylonians. B'neim uv'naisam yamusu b'rav, and the younger sons and daughters will die in famine. U'she'eris lo sialem, they will not have any remnant at all. Ki avi ra el anshe anasais, I will bring evil on the people of Anasais. Now, is this everybody, or only his opponents? Not so clear. Are we talking about a collective guilt? But it says, on the Anshe Anasais, Shenas Pikudasam. It will be the year of their visitation, the year where all of the Midas Hadin will be poured upon them.